forgive.
Wow, wait.
Not the gays.
Wow.
We don't forgive the gays.
Hey,
we forgive
hold on.
the attempted murderers.
No, what? Calm down. Holy shit. How the fuck do we start this stream?
You said you were clicking the button.
I clicked the
the
button,
so I put on Showtime.
and then immediately just go into like, fuck everything. What the? Wow,
We're
okay.
talking about the super religious people.
Okay, yeah, but the stream didn't know that.
Now they do.
That's not a me problem, sir.
That
not
is absolutely a you problem. 100%
No, we're
you
talking
problem.
about the lead singer of As They Lay Dying. Favorite band of mine, by the way. But the lead singer was caught trying to hire a hitman for his wife.
Okay,
Some
what now?
heavy shit.
10 years ago,
shit.
he was in prison for 7-8 years.
Mhm.
It was
He
an
in prison
undercover
for a while.
cop. Yeah, undercover cop, so nothing, she's okay. But I guess he was on a ton of steroids and his brain got a little kooky and...
A
You went for
little?
the wrong guy.
That's a little?
I guess,
That's
I
pretty far down the
did
kooky hole.
date a meathead who was on steroids, and he was a little kooky. I don't think he tried to kill me, but I get it. I get it.
But I get it.
I understand. It makes sense.
So the moral of the story is steroids bad. Trying to kill
Yeah.
your wife bad.
Yeah, like,
Trying
or
to
if
get a
you're on
cop to kill your
steroids,
wife worse.
you should stay single. I think that's the moral of the
Stay
story.
single.
Stay single so
mm.
you're not tempted to
Think
kill
about
people.
beefcake.
I'm just, wow. Okay. I mean, you know, we're supposed to start the show in like a minute, and I am terrified of fucking hitting this button. Like, compared to what was just said in the last 30 seconds, I'm just like, where the fuck is this show gonna go?
It's actually Googleable facts, though. Like, I'm not
Okay.
spewing opinion. It's like a real thing that happened.
Yeah, this man went to jail.
Yeah, like he was convicted of attempted murder type
All
of.
right, this is dope. Okay, awesome. Yeah,
Dope.
yeah. I'm gonna play our intro now because
Okay, we'll be quiet.
This is my favorite stream yet.
hello and welcome to the Next Level Talk Show. I am your host Corbin, along with my co-host
I have
Amanda.
lines, so I'm happy.
If this is your
Whatever.
first time here on the Next Level,
Dr.
we are an
Pepper, I'm
education-based
good. Dr.
talk
Pepper
show
and
helping influencers, industry
Yeah,
professionals, and
chilling.
fans understand how the industry looks and evaluates
Super
data.
chilling.
We're based on education, evaluation, and analytics.
voice in my head's
That is
yelling
the
at me
goal
to
of our
stop
show
talking.
and the focus that we have.
Shh.
I love it. Thanks so much, Torben. And a huge shout out to our sponsors, Blue
voice in Torben's
Microphone.
head
They
sound
are
wants to
the
stop talking to.
absolute top of the line, best in class audio equipment. You can see Torben and I here have our handy dandy booms and our mics, as well as Shot Call, which is a platform that helps creators link up with their community as well as monetize.
Oh my god, how long is this fucking intro?
Forever. Hey,
You gotta get the people hyped.
it's over now.
Are you
Hi
sure?
everyone. How's everyone doing today? Oh look, my dog is whining. Go figure. Why would my dog not be whining? So greetings, salutations, good evening, and as you know, Amanda is now licking her teeth again. We're gonna have a hair counter. We have one thing that we're gonna show you guys here soonish that happened on last stream. But first and foremost, welcome back. We are here with our wonderful, amazing friend, Elijah Witt. Elijah, how are you doing, buddy?
Howdy. I'm alive and well.
Are you? That's good.
Finally happy to be here.
I know, dude. Last time we had some complications come up because, you know, shit happens with life and we understand that, but we appreciate you pulling through this time for us and being here.
It's what I'm here for. I blue ball you once, then I come through.
That's really like how I enjoy all of my personal encounters. So thank you for the experience.
you want him to what? Oh, okay, if you
Please
say
don't
so.
ask clarifying questions, Torben. That's not a clarifying situation.
We don't need to further through that.
No.
We don't need to worry about that. That's not a thing that we need to worry about ever.
So, Torben, tell us why our dear friend Elijah is on the show today.
So Elijah is here because we're gonna walk through how to set up a stream from start to finish. So we're gonna walk through some stuff that he already has set up today. Then we're gonna talk about stuff that he's maybe lacking and or missing, because his goal is to actually go live, right? So we want to walk through a lot of that stuff and look at where he may be missing some things, because this is what he wants to do. He comes from a completely different arena, which Elijah, I'll let you go into that and explain who you are and what you do. But today we're talking about, you know, the materials you need to actually hit that button and go live. So Elijah, tell us a little bit more about yourself and who you are and where you come from and what you do.
Yeah, okay, so it's the opposite of the gaming world. It's live music. So I'm in a heavy metal band called Cane Hill. And I mean, so I tour the world playing music. It's all a live experience. And up until
Hair count, people.
4 months ago, there were no live stream concerts or anything. I mean, there were, but you know, not to the level that they're at now, where just every band is live streaming everything. But I have absolutely zero experience in streaming. I streamed one 420 smoke sesh with me and my the whatever fans wanted to show up in it, and that was the extent of it. So I have like an OBS that has absolutely nothing on it. I have a Twitch that has absolutely nothing on it, and I'm just trying to figure it out and move into this ever-growing world of streaming.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I'm happy that you're on, because now we can actually talk about this and go through a little bit more detail on, you know, what it is you want to look for, and you know, the different things that are available to streamers that want to start out. You know, and like, I'm self-taught. I didn't ask anyone for help. I literally went and learned everything myself. So everything I'm going to talk to you about today is me effectively just going and doing it, right? So that's part of, you know, learning with streaming and getting good at your craft, is being able to understand what you need to do to be effective. So before that though, we have a little video that we need to show everyone from last stream that happened. So let's jump over there real quick. And
do I get to watch it if I can't hear the show?
You know what, you can watch it. I believe in you. You can watch it.
Okay, I'm gonna figure that out.
You know what, you can watch it afterwards. Actually, just watch the video itself.
Oh, fuck.
And see what happens.
Hair count, people.
Okay.
So
there's one,
2,
right
3.
So make
4,
sure that we count
5.
throughout the show. I want a final count at the end.
So Elijah, if you don't know what's going on, we're playing a montage video of Amanda touching her hair last session, where it's just literally just all the way through of just how many times she touches her hair.
And that was the reference you used for when she licked her teeth this time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a new montage is coming, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. Every single time she does something new for us to montage, it's amazing. I love it, like nonstop. And if you can't hear, for everyone else on stream, and for Elijah who can't hear this, I hear nothing but dinging in my ears, because that's how many times this is going. It's just ding, 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 ding.
I faintly hear a ding.
Oh, do you?
Ding
Okay.
Too.
Yeah, that's what's happening. It's literally
That's
dinging.
how many dings there are, is that we can hear it.
And this is over the course of an hour and a half that we're here. And she finally
Did have
gets
someone. So before I got into
fed
gaming,
up.
I'm just stop counting.
says,
Stop
counting.
counting.
As she touches her hair for a final time on 139 counts. So Plant, thank you very much for that montage. It was phenomenal. We loved it.
That's a gratuitous amount of hair touching.
That was just so insanely amount that I can't even. Yeah, I'm just. Woo. Okay, so let's get into it. The dings were crazy. So if you could, for me, you're currently on a web page for Zoom. Let's go and navigate to your Twitch page, Elijah, and let's go take a look at that and see what you have. Oh, look, hey, so we have Daddy's Camo Cargos.
It's making it sound way sexier than it is.
Dad's Camo Cargos. That's your handle. So as we can see, the first couple things that you don't have set up here is you don't have your background. It looks like so this is where you can add in an image to your background. You can add in your social media links, and all the way that you're going to do that is you're actually going to navigate from there to channel settings. So if you click on the top right hand side and then go down to account settings, it's going to open up a new page for you. And then from here, what we can do is we can see, okay, you have your profile picture, dope. But this is also where you put your profile banner. So this is where you can put your profile banner in. You can actually add that in. This is actually part of being cohesive with your brand as an overall. So you're going to want to add something in there, because right now it's just your name.
talking about cohesive with my brand, I think I only have a few photos downloaded on here.
Well, you don't
But
like
it's cohesive.
this is not an immediate thing, right? You don't have to do this right this second. This is just literally as we go. I'm going to talk about different things that you're going to want to take a look at, and then also make sure that you have updated in within your channel itself.
I'm good to go.
Cool. So after we do that, right, our next step is to make it so that this window stops popping open. Holy shit, Discord, stop it. So from there, we're now going to scroll down. You're going to look and see this is where you can actually change your name and your display name. So the difference between your username and a display name is that you can change your display name for what everyone externally is going to see you as. Your username is what your Twitch channel is going to be named. So if you ever want to edit that, you can edit that every 30 days. That's how long you have. So you don't like, there's only so much you can do with that. You also want to think about a bio. Like this is where you should be linking other things, like your Cane Hill YouTube, your Cane Hill website, your Cane, like all of the different stuff that's about you that makes up who you are. This is what goes into that bio. This
So
actually,
you can place hyperlinks into that. And
yeah,
everything?
you can place hyperlinks in there and it will actually work.
Okay.
So this is just the main profile page, right? And then the next we're going to go is to channel and videos. So in channel and videos, once you're there, this is where you get your stream key. So when you're in OBS, you're going to go and hit the file settings and then take the stream key. You can also log in through OBS with a new feature that they have, that allows you to just integrate your stream key immediately into OBS, which is what I recommend. So don't even worry about this, but this is where you find your stream key if you need to. So if you're out doing IRL or anything like that, this is where this is going to go. I don't recognize Tarn without a wig. Okay, whatever. In addition to this, this is also very important. You want to turn on disconnect protection. And the reason why you want to turn on disconnect protection is that if you lose frame drops, you lose bandwidth, whatever, it's not going to stop your stream. So it means that your VOD is going to continue. So a little thing's going to pop up on your screen and say it's disconnected, but your stream's not going to stop, which when you're going to edit something, having to edit multiple VODs is annoying as crap. So this is why having the disconnect protection is important to have on. You can also store past broadcasts, which you want to do. So you're going to want to check that on as well. Once you check that on, that's going to store your VOD into your channel settings or into your VOD. And we'll go over that in a minute. And you'll be able to download that and then upload those things to YouTube or do video edits and stuff like that. If you don't have this turned on, you will not be able to download your previous stream. This is this is what this is for. And as you can see, you have 14 days to download that in. Partners get 60 days. You know, also Turbo and Prime users also get 60 days as well if you're one of those people. So this is just a nice thing to have so that you can download that VOD and then go back and edit it later on. Mature content, as you know, this allows you to have that. I always recommend low latency because then that allows cell phone users to actually monitor and watch your stream. Normal latency makes it a little bit harder on them, but that's kind of, user preference depending on what you want to do. The next portion of this in permissions is your channel editor and channel manager. This is the people that you want to manage and edit your channel. So like if you have a person who does video editing for you, you can add them as a manager or channel editor. So that means they can change your title, they can download your VODs, they can download clips, they can manage your clips, they can do all of that stuff through here. So that's why this is good to have, because then you can go in and see who your channel managers are. You can also dedicate who can stream to your channel. So if you have, say for instance, you want your buddy to stream to your channel, you can then set them up in the channel and allow them to stream to your channel as an authorized user. So then they can go in and stream from your channel like they were you. I don't normally recommend that, but you can if you want to. And then if you scroll down, you have your profile picture, right? And then you have your profile banner, you have your custom images, all this stuff you're going to want to set up and get and have done. If you continue scrolling down, you have your profile accents. These are the things that the videos behind will look like. This is just all aesthetics, right? For the most part, this is all aesthetics that you want to look at. If you continue scrolling down, it'll show the most recent things that you've streamed in your catalog, which you don't have anything right now, so don't worry about it. Additionally, you can also add social links there, right? It looks like you already added Instagram, and you can continue adding more and more, so you have all those social links attached to your channel. Setting up your time zones is important. And then The rest of it, you can set up auto host. I would recommend people go through this and really just look through each and every tab and understand what they do. And if you have questions, always ask, right? Like the one major thing is you want to allow raids too, right? So if you scroll down even farther, you want to allow raids, and you also want to allow drops. So if someone allows you to have drops on from a game, this enables your account to be included in that stuff. So you can then get drops inside of a game. So like say you're playing, I can't think of a game off the top of my head, but if you're playing a game and it has drops enabled, this will allow you to do it.
Valorant, Hunter's Arena, Call of Duty.
Thank you.
So many. You're welcome.
Just
I have to
me.
contribute to this conversation in one way, and I have done it. So I'm now off the hook for the next 45 minutes. Thank you.
45 minutes. I don't think that's how it works. So next we're going to go to security and privacy. This is where you can add in your email. You can enable two-factor authentication. You can do just different stuff for your security and privacy. You can block whispers. You can receive gifts. All of this stuff you should go and do it based off of your preference only. I would recommend you just take a look and see what makes sense for you. It looks like you went over to channels, so you're going to want to go back up to your profile picture and click back on settings and go back into settings, because that's where I'm back at. Account settings.
Thanks for the guide.
Yep. So I'm looking at the privacy tab right now, privacy and security. This is what I was talking about with all the different stuff. So a lot of this, what I'm running you through very quickly right now, is important that you do, because if you don't have this set up, you don't look as clean when you go live. So the next thing is notifications, smart notifications on Twitch, on email. This is where you set up all your notifications for everything that you want to do, and notifications you get from other people. So go through and set all that up. Next is connections. This is what's connected to your actual Twitch account. So like things like Twitch Prime, Steam, YouTube, Blizzard, all of that different stuff. You can connect many different things to it to allow things to do it. So like OBS, when it gets added in, it will automatically add in as an extension Nightbot, Stream Elements, all the different stuff that we're going to set up. So you see Stream Elements already is enabled there. You also have Twitch for iPhone, right? So the next thing you're going to do is have OBS on there once you log in there, and I can show you how to do that, no problem. Recommendations, I don't even worry about recommendations. Not the end of the world. There's nothing there that's really you're gonna do anything with right now as you're starting out. So that's in a nutshell how you're gonna function with that. There's some other stuff I'm glossing over, and I understand that I'm glossing over it. Don't yell at me, guys. I'm just trying to get him stream ready. That's the focus of today, so that he can hit the go live button. The rest of it,
yell at him.
when you're in the stream manager, and you go back and you go to if you're in actual stream manager, so if you click on your profile up at the top, they go to content dashboard, creator dashboard. That one. This is where you're going to live 90% of the time, and this has a lot of your information. So you're going to be updating your edit. So if you click on stream manager itself, you'll see what we see, right? This will have your chat, this will have your followers, this will have your main screen, this will have where you edit your stream information, this will have where you can do clips, you can do raids. All of the stuff will be done through this interface. So this interface is where you're going to live for the most part when you are streaming, and if you are on the dashboard or want to live here.
Okay.
This is hard. What is hard? Why is everything hard? I don't understand.
No
Amanda.
one's hard. Move on.
What?
No one's hard.
Wow.
Move on.
Okay. I would also recommend going through each and every single one of these and looking at them. And if you have questions, again, ask, right? Like this is where you're going to start seeing some of the tools. Extensions is one thing I would say take a look at. Streaming tools, take a look at. And then the creator camp, this is up to you.
Right, so all these are just like add-ons into the stream, like the
yeah.
little
So
widgets that go in it.
These are like, so if you go into a Hearthstone streamer's stream and they have the Hearthstone widget in, you can actually hover over the cards and it will show you the description of the cards and what cards they have in their hand.
Okay.
So that's on stream. So there's things that you can also do like Tobii Eye Tracker, and Tobii Eye Tracker will allow it so people can track your eye movement when you're in stream, and it will show it on stream.
Okay.
So there's various different modules that you're going to want to have, and you know, this is up to your gameplay and what you want to do. Right.
Okay. And then streaming tools.
Yep.
So that's where OBS is.
So if you already have OBS, and in OBS, Wow, really plant? Okay, I see how it is. Rude. If you already have OBS, you can actually go into OBS and then go into settings, and then inside settings you can click stream, and then when you're in stream you can actually connect directly to Twitch. That's what I recommend, because then you'll have chat on your right side. You can update your going live status and what you're doing also with gameplay all through OBS, and you don't have to go into your actual dashboard, which is what's normally recommended, but we don't have to do that right now. That's just later on as we go. Sure. So let's pull up OBS real quick. I want to see where you're at with that and what you've done there, and see what we're missing. And Amanda,
I've got OBS open.
When you're looking at someone's profile, what are the first couple things that you see that people should have that we should tell Witt right off the bat he needs to put on his profile?
I love to see what game you play, what platforms you're on. That way I don't have to do a ton of digging to see other things. Like, obviously I can do my research, but that's super important just to kind of have it for everyone to see.
Now, where would you go to navigate and find that information if you're on Twitch?
I don't know.
Wow. Okay. Anyways, so
I don't look at Twitch profiles. I use Sully Gnome.
Okay. Well, since she doesn't know, I'm going to tell you. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to go to your channel profile where we started out, and all you're going to do is you're going to go click up at the top of your name, and you're going to go to channel. And then now that we're on channel, what we can do is we're going to go and scroll down once we're there.
Once we're there. I'm on that backwoods Wi-Fi.
You're on that backwoods Wi-Fi. Holy shit.
I'm surprised it's not dial-up.
So, unlike Amanda, I actually look at their people's Twitch profiles. I don't know why
I just look at the numbers. It's not useful for me. I don't price people based off their profile. I do it based off of.
But there could be information here that you need to have.
Irrelevant.
Wow. Okay. Apparently it's irrelevant.
If I go to sign someone, yes. But if I'm just looking into getting them on a campaign, how they have it set up, it could be Care Bears. I literally don't even care.
So you're going to click on About, and then once you're in About, so here's a couple things you can do. You can look at About, you can look at Schedule, you can look at Videos, and you can look at Chat. All of these things are important. I would recommend you go through and take a look at them. If you scroll down on About, you'll actually see there's a little edit button, and if you click on that, you can actually edit all the information here. This is where you're going to put all the stuff additionally, like I was telling you. So like your Twitter pages, your Twitch pages, Spotify, whatever. This is all going to go down here because this is all the information you want on your stream. So like for us, we have on ours our Twitter profile plus our socials plus About Us, right? And then we also have the top people we have on the stream consistently. So this is the stuff we have in our About page. Sometimes people go here, sometimes people don't. It's hit or miss, but it's still good to have a uniform across the board for everything that you're doing, so that way you always have the same information no matter what.
Valid.
So all right, cool. So let's go over to OBS real quick. I want to open that up and see where you're at with that, and then we can figure out if you're missing anything. And then I did this 101 with Amanda, and I'm actually going to have Amanda tell you how she set up a stream, because I know that she's going to hate it. And I saw that eye flutter. I saw it. Don't even act like
it was painful. I didn't know what was happening. I literally learned nothing. If you asked me to replicate that, I think I actually, I did. I uninstalled OBS from my computer because it was taking up room and I needed Call of Duty. Priorities.
Wow.
Priorities.
I've
erased all memory.
Call of Duty's like 110.
I still have Call of Duty on my computer and OBS. So
I couldn't do that on this computer.
I don't have that kind of baller life. I'm sorry.
How do you not? What? A terabyte hard drive costs like $50.
This is literally $50 I don't have, Torben.
Okay. Well, anyways, moving on, because
I feel you on a spiritual level.
See, I tried to teach Amanda something, and this is the thanks I get.
However, it was a forced teaching, not something I wanted to learn.
That's my bad for not being there.
What?
You didn't want to learn it. I didn't.
Yes, you did.
My
yes,
bad.
you did.
Only to help you with the show because your life is difficult and busy.
You still told me you wanted to learn it. So that's a lie.
To make you happy.
See what I have to deal with? This is the bullshit. All right.
It seems fine.
So I actually can't see your OBS. So just tell me on the left-hand side what scenes you have set up, and then what sources you have for each one of those scenes. So first and foremost, what I want to know right off the bat is what you're missing on OBS, if anything, or if you've already done it all. So scene wise, what do you have?
Starting soon, intro, main, be right back.
Okay, cool. So that's
and on those last three, I've got display capture, the mic aux, and the video capture.
cool. So that actually solves quite a bit of what we're going to go over. You shouldn't have to do much more than that. Honestly, once you have most of those things set up, you can actually start rolling with a lot of stuff. It doesn't take much more. So the starting soon, that's where you're gonna actually have, you know, your main like starting soon screen, just main graphics of like, hey, I'm starting soon. Intro is where you're gonna come in and like, just like we did with the intro here, we're gonna talk about, you know, what we're doing today. And then after that, all you need to have literally is gameplay and BRB. And beyond that, scenes, you shouldn't really have a lot unless you're doing a lot of fancy, tricky stuff, which you shouldn't be right now, starting out.
I won't be.
Right. That's all you need, right? You just literally need a starting soon intro, talk about what the fuck you're doing today, gameplay, and then BRB and finish. That's it. Beyond that, you should be good. And then the things you're going to want to set up is your camera, your microphone, and your gameplay. If there's a lot of easy things that you can do here. If you click the plus button on sources, you'll see all the different things. That's also part of the reason why I had you do a little bit of prep, so you can see how to do that stuff. So like, for instance, if you want to go and do game capture on your game, you literally click game capture. And then when the game is loaded, you click and double click into it, and then you capture that game. And then you only have that game being displayed. So I'm not going to go too heavy into OBS because I don't want to bore Amanda, because apparently she thinks all of this is dumb.
I don't think it's dumb. My brain is full. There is no more room for things.
She can't afford the extra hard drive. We talked.
There is no extra hard drive for brains. Thank you. I don't have it. I just don't.
Okay, that's fine. It's fine. And you haven't been touching your hair, so I will give you that. Not
I
that
know
I've
why?
noticed.
Because I didn't wash it this morning and it's dirty and I don't like it.
Okay, so Plant, no montage for you for hair, but
Aha!
capture wine sips, because I think she's done at least 5.
I have a whole other bottle, guys. I am ready
Steady going.
to fuck.
All right. Anyways, let's move over to Stream Elements.
All right.
So I did this yesterday on stream for the next level. So here's where we're at. Oh, please, for the love of God, go dark mode. Cannot do that. Can't do it. Up at the top right, there's a little moon. Click that.
I didn't even realize there was a dark mode on a real website. Hold on, my computer's
There we go.
embarrassing me.
Woo,
They're
dark
going
mode.
so
All right,
slow.
my eyes, they burn. They burn,
seriously.
precious. So Stream Elements is a couple different things. First and foremost, Stream Elements, and this is where Amanda's going to completely just like ignore the crap out of everything that happens here. So she's putting her phone in front of the screen now because she doesn't want to listen to
I'm
us.
gonna make a TikTok. Be right back.
Actually, you know what? That's what you should do, Amanda. While we're doing this, make fucking TikToks for the show. How about that? How about that?
Catch me outside. How about
Catch
that?
me outside. How about that? Torben, I am not picky. Don't even at me. So with this, if you click on the little three dashes up at the top left, you're gonna pull up a couple different things here. And so the first thing we're gonna talk about is your alerts and overlays. And alerts and overlays, you can have it. There's a theme gallery and there's my overlays. You're in the theme gallery right now, so we're gonna stay in that. So just click out of it and just click back into that main screen. And when you're in the theme in these themes, what you have in front of you are actual full graphics packages that Stream Elements provides. And what I mean by that is if you click on preview on the purple wave, for instance, you'll see that what pops up is an entire package of what the stream would look like if you were to customize this. Now, this is a very time consuming and tedious thing. We are not going to go into this today because this is just not, it's not worth going and doing all of this. And specifically why is because it's going to take a long time for you to go through and understand all of this stuff. So what I would recommend for you is go through, find a package that you like, because these are all free, and this is all going to live in the cloud. And that's why this is so dope, because Stream Elements allows this all to live in the cloud, and you don't have to do anything else but have the link for it. So I'll walk you through this later on when you're ready for it, and when you find one that you really like, because what you're going to do is you're going to hit create, and then you're going to name it. And then once you name it, you then have an entire overlay package that's already pre-built for you, and you go in and customize it for your stream. So this is what I recommend everyone start with, right? Don't go custom until you are ready and understand what it is you're looking for. Because as it stands, as a new streamer, you don't know what the fuck your aesthetic's going to be. I guarantee you don't. You don't know what you want to play. You don't know where you want to go unless you've already pre-built that and already know that that's what you want to do. You don't have that already mapped out for stream, because streaming is completely different than any other medium. So you want to find that aesthetic, and then once you find it, then you can start going from there, because then it helps be cohesive across your entire brand. So I always say, just go and fuck with something. You can break this 3 ways from Sunday. It doesn't matter, because you can always rebuild it. It's not an issue. Everything is customizable, and everything's web browser sourced. So you literally go and browser source this and put it into your OBS, and it instantly loads your overlays. So you don't have to do anything. So that's actually how we're displaying right now through Stream Elements. I have everything piped through Stream Elements coming in through a browser source, and that's what's being displayed on stream, because that's how it all functions. So this is a really, really cool, powerful tool. So like I said, find the overlay package that you want and then go from there. Amanda, do you have any comments about overlay aesthetics and whether they matter?
I do. Okay, I do. So one thing we talked to, was it who we had on yesterday? Jeez, last week, about sticking with like the brand.
You mean Heal Please Heal, the guy in chat?
Thank you. Yes, when we were like, oh, we don't like all the colors. A big thing. And again, so like my position on this is only from like someone wanting to give advice, not from a sales perspective. This doesn't really affect you monetizing. You're like getting brand deals, but it's good to have cohesive colors across your brand. So if your aesthetic is like your logo and there's like red and blue, I would stick with that color scheme throughout everything you choose. It just overall looks professional. Even if, let's say you have like crap graphics because your homie made it and you got it for free. If you have like chat is ridiculous.
Yeah, I saw that. I was laughing. The chat goes, pick colors Amanda likes. Pro tip.
First off, damn right. Second off, yeah, if I were to see, or your audience sees that you just have cohesion, like it just seems like you're putting an effort and you're not like, well, that looks good, that looks good. Like you're putting the time in to make it look like a brand. Like when you look at any big brand, like you look at Red Bull, you look at Monster, you look at Clorox, Bounty, like they keep with their brand fonts, they keep with their colors, they keep with the same message. Like it's all cohesive. So that's what I would say, is that if you pick a color or color scheme, I would stick with it throughout, whether that's on your YouTube, your stream, your website, your anything. Like if you have lights where you stream, like I would keep everything consistent. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
See how I looped you in there?
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I don't want you to just like be a pretty face, okay?
Oh, thank you. That's like the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
That is
makes me want to tell that story.
Not true.
Torben, it makes me want to tell that story about how I thought you called me hot, but really you just said I looked sweaty. Do you remember that? Okay, real quick story time because it's only 3:00. So
wow, okay.
I was setting up my audio and I'm like running wires around my desk and I'm like fucking sweating my ass off because I'm cheap and I won't put my AC on until it's hot. And I like pop up from my desk, like right under here. I pop up and I'm on camera and Torben's like, "You look really hot." And I was like, "Torben, I didn't think we spoke to each other like that." And then I was like, looked at myself and I'm like, "Oh, he thinks I look sweaty right now."
You look warm.
So
I was so sad. And it's just my new skin routine. When I don't wear makeup, I have a dewy glow because of the moisturizers and the products I use. Right. But he thought I looked sweaty. Yes, my face was moist.
I meant that she looked like she was working out. I'm also happily married, so that was like terrifying to me that she thought that I still was like, "Hey,
I was confused, but it wasn't in a creepy way. I was just like, wow, that's so nice of you to say. Like, I didn't think we spoke to each other that way. Like, didn't think anything like that, but it's just funny because then I was like, oh, cool. That's not what he meant.
Amanda,
cool.
I
Yes.
appreciate beautiful people.
Thank you. Me too. I appreciate myself.
Elijah,
very
you're
much.
beautiful.
Oh my God, thank you.
He's okay. This isn't about him. Stop it. This is
No,
not
I've been
about him.
waiting to be brought
100%
into
is
this
about
beauty
him.
circle. I was waiting for someone to acknowledge what I put time into.
I mean, you know. Okay, so
So much time.
I spent 6 minutes trimming my mustache to be attractive for this stream.
I
I
appreciate that.
it and I respect that.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I spent like 30 seconds shaving my head, so I mean, there's that.
That's important.
It needs to have the glean. I need to like blind chat. That's the
It
goal.
does actually look really good, by the way. Like I think I
just
saw it the
wanna-
other day and I was like, damn, it looks pretty good.
Literally
Are
just
you
want to blind
using a
chat.
good head wax?
No, actually, I don't use any head wax.
You used a car wax.
Yeah,
Like,
car
for
wax.
the outside.
100%. That's how I kill my hair completely. 100%. It's just gone. Like no more hair. Okay.
You don't need it.
You just burn it off. I imagine you could light it on fire and just down the whole.
Wow. Just wow. No. Moving on.
Like I used to do that with Axe. You put it on your arm and you light it on
No,
fire. and just-
why? What?
Lord.
Why would
I
you
don't know,
do
man.
that? That
Why
sounds
not?
terrible. What is happening right now? I don't even.
It's
you know
unsafe.
what? Okay.
You were just
Back to
talking about
stream
boys
elements.
on tour being unsafe.
No, just no. Go click on the 3 little bars again for me.
I got you. Bear with my internet. This is 2006.
All right. Also, OBS Live, don't do it. Do core OBS. OBS Live adds more weight to the program than you need. Just because it's Stream Elements package, it doesn't help at all. It just adds some functionality, and at the end of the day, it's not really worth it. It takes up more CPU than necessary. So just stick
So is that a
with core.
different OBS?
It is.
than-
It's Stream
Okay.
Elements OBS, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it just adds more impact to your processor using it
Okay.
because it's
What's
now
the one that you recommended?
just OBS, just straight
Oh, okay,
OBS
cool.
Live.
That's
Like
what I have.
OBS, the OBS itself, the core package, the studio, that's what you should be using because that's the best cleanest route that you can go.
Okay. Easy.
Then now we're going to look at, so the next thing is, this is where we're going to start getting into other things. So don't worry about partnership. Not going to pertain to you. Doesn't even freaking matter. Go up to dashboard.
Yeah.
So dashboard's super interesting. And here's why dashboard's interesting, because this can tell you per month what you're doing, how you're doing it. You can actually, it shows you how many followers you have, how many tips you have, how many hosts you've had, how many raves you had. Like all of that stuff is all integrated here into the actual dashboard. There's some stuff it's going to ask you to set up. We'll just hit do it later. We're going to do it later. We're going to go through that in a minute.
I'll accept these cookies too. Get that off the screen.
Ooh, what cookies? Oh,
I could go for cookies.
don't even get me started.
Yeah.
man.
So what I've experienced, just to answer chat, Pyro, is that when I've used OBS Live through Stream Elements, it actually taxes my CPU about another 10 to 15% above just doing it with just pure OBS. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just throwing API calls or what, but that is what my experience has been. So once I transitioned back off to just core OBS, I saw the drop in CPU usage. So it, for some reason, there's something there. It may not be optimized fully or one. I don't know. It might just been a, like I said, min API call that I was having, but that's the issues that I was running into. So when I went back to core, it was easier. So this is your dashboard. You can also change your stream title plus your stream game and all that stuff on the right hand side. This is where you want your actual bot to join as well. So if you go and click the join channel itself, that's going to make it join your channel, and then it's going to authorize the bot to do a lot, which allows it to do moderator status and a bunch of other stuff. So it successfully joined the channel. You actually have to go to your channel and mod it once it's there, but you can do that later. Don't worry about it right now. Just remember that you need to go to your channel and actually add it as moderator /moderator, then Stream Elements, and then it will add it in there. So then you'll have that, and so chat commands and everything else will work for you too.
Okay.
From here, sorry, I was just looking at something. From here, the next couple things we're not going to run through, but I'm just going to go over. If you go and click the three dashes up the top, this is going to go back into that same panel again. If you scroll down, you'll see revenue. So you can set up tipping. This is where you set up your my brain's not working. This is where you're going to set up all of your donations. So this is where you're going to actually add this all in. So when people type in donations, they can actually add to your PayPal or send you stuff. There's a link that it will generate for you. You can start using that effectively, and then you can also add it into the bottom portion of the About Me page. So a donation button for that. You can show revenue history, and then you can have a merch store through here too. So if you want to, there's a merch store that you can actually add in here that you can run through and have your own merch. And this is also part of being cohesive brand.
Okay.
The next thing is loyalty. So loyalty is, if you go and click on that, this is where you can add points to your channel. So people can earn points and then spend points on various different things. So like we'll show that in a second too. You can have leaderboards here. You can have a stream store. So in the stream store, you can add things like Witt has to get up for 15 seconds and do jumping jacks, or Amanda has to stop doing hair flips for 5 minutes. I didn't add that at all. I probably added that. Anyways.
Sounds like you added that.
So you can also run contests and giveaways and all that. So the integration here is all through the bot. And that's what the
crazy.
Important thing is. So you can have all of this stuff integrated here, and the bot will help you do a lot of it. So I recommend going through each one of those different things, looking at it and seeing how you can play with it. Again, if you don't have, if you have questions, ask, right?
And under bot is where you would put all of those. From what I see, you put the chat commands,
right?
So what people would say in the chat to do what you want them to do.
Exactly. So this is where we're going to go in. So we're going to go click on modules first. And once we're in modules on the bot, you're going to see things that come up. So this is where you're going to get, you can set up chat alerts. You can set up, the viewers can play roulette, bingo, raffle, emotes, duel, 8-ball, slot machine, Twitter, emote combos, and live announcements. This is where the bot's going to start automating stuff for you. So like, for instance, chat alerts, when an activity happens, someone follows, someone raids, someone hosts, whatever, this is what the bot's going to do in chat. So if you turn that on, you can actually have it to where it's automatically just going to say stuff for you. So when someone new follows, it will say it in chat, thanks for following, right? Or if someone raids, hey, thanks for the raid, right? So you can see it in chat, and it's an active log.
Cool.
Why are people yelling at me? Stop yelling at me, people.
Torben, I want to be interactive. Ask me a question.
Ask you a question. So what's your favorite thing to do in chat besides, rag on people?
Ooh, I like to help people count my hair flips. I actually saw someone said 5 hair flips, so I went 6, 7, 8.
I mean, that's super helpful.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
That's what the people need.
So what are some things that you see that streamers are doing right now that is very good from a community standpoint inside their chat to help them engage?
So I know it's not always possible, but I like seeing creators do giveaways. I think that helps to engage people. I've seen a lot of my content creators. So one guy, Excellion, he's awesome. He did DX Racer chair giveaways for 30 days and had his chat super engaged for that 30-day period. So you obviously have to have the sponsorship or spend the money on it yourself. But to me, even little things like it could be like a $50 Amazon gift card, I'm sure people will probably still be pretty engaged. So like little things to just get people like, ooh, this is cool, until they fall in love with you and realize that you're really awesome.
So it's just, this is where the chat and engagement comes in, and that's what we were talking about. So like, for instance, roulette allows people to play roulette and use points within the channel. Bingo, they can play bingo. You can set up different bingo things. You can set up a raffle. You can set up an emote pyramid. Emote pyramid is literally someone starts an emote, and then it's a chain of like who can actually complete the pyramid. And if they complete the pyramid, they win points. If they don't, they lose points, right? So just having ways for chat to engage, like doing an 8-ball. So for instance, in our chat, if I go and I do
an 8-ball.
Ooh.
8-ball says, forget about it. I don't want to forget about it. That's so mean. Why? Anyways,
you'll never forget with an 8-ball.
Chat ball.
I just learned how to write Java for an 8-ball.
No, drugs are bad. Drugs are bad, Tim. Yeah. So then from here, this is also where testing comes into play. So you want to go through, and every single time you engage a command, you want to test it in chat, right? So like, for instance, 8-ball, I just tested that in chat. I didn't need to, but I did. but there's also other things that you can do in here too, and like duel. So if someone in chat wants to duel someone else that has channel points, they can do that, which we're going to be starting to roll out more and more. I've actually enabled duels.
What is a duel? What are they dueling
people
with?
just duel. They literally duel with points. So as they sit in chat and they collect points, they can duel people. And as they duel people,
Can I duel myself?
no, you can't duel yourself. Oh, and look, so you know,
Seems
Amanda
not inclusive.
just won against Plant. Good job, Plant. You lost.
Good
So,
job, Plant.
but that's a chat interaction right there. So they can literally play against each other and do stuff in here and have fun just like doing random things. And this is just bot commands that you can add that are natively there. You can also add in other things.
Logs as interactions.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's just a good way for chat to actually have, you know, do something while they're waiting for, you know, Amanda to talk or do a hair flip, just in general. So next we're going to go down to user management. User management, you may or may not have anyone here yet. So you're going to go up to the 3 slashes up the top. You're going to click on that, and then we're going to go to user management.
He's being needy.
Puppy.
Oh,
I have a puppy too. He's behind me.
I have 2 puppies.
Wow, we're not talking about puppies. That's not what we're
Yes,
here
we
for.
are.
mean,
Literally,
we
there's a
could be.
dog on camera.
Wow.
I
okay.
can't.
So we're gonna actually skip over
Pretend he's not here.
this is user management allows you to add users and moderators and all that stuff here. So this is where you're gonna come in and add people in. You can add moderators, you can add super moderators, you can add regulars. All of this matters. We can talk about that more later. That gets into a bigger discussion, but we're not going to talk about that now. The last thing I want to go over before we have to actually, you know, end is this. Go to spam for me, and this is a huge one for you just in general.
what?
Spam filter. So go back up to the 3 dots and go to spam filter.
This is gonna stop people and be like, get more followers.
Right. So spam filter, this is where you're going to turn on caps lock, link protection, email protection, paragraph protection, symbol protection, and banned words. So right now you probably don't have anything on. So you're going to want to go through and really customize each one of those. So when you turn on cap lock, go and hit the arrow to the right of that. That makes it into a drop down. So this is where you're going to define what people can do. So I do it to like a 1 minute duration or 100 second duration, which is 1 minute. So, and if you hit on advanced, you can actually set the minimum and maximum characters. So the advanced settings up the top.
My computer runs about the speed of smell right now.
Rude. So this is where you can start customizing in the advanced settings, right? So then you can actually go in here and actually start working with the advanced settings. So like I don't recommend eight characters. I recommend more than that, something like 15 to 20, somewhere in there. So just be aware that that's something you're going to want to mess with and play with. Yeah, 100 seconds is a minute, by the way. So they're timed out for a minute. So when they're timed out by the boss, it kills off everything, all chat interaction they have. So I would go through and customize each one of these things as you go and make sure that you have all of this set up and ready to go. I would also go through banned words. So if you have banned words that you want to actually add in, this is where you're going to go add in, right? So this
keep that racism out of my stream.
Right, dude. That's one thing that I went through and did yesterday. So that is all of the time we have. Once you have Stream Elements set up and once you have your OBS set up and all that, like you're literally ready to hit live, man. Like you go through, like it takes some time to set up. It's probably going to take you a day or two to really set this up properly and get to where you want it to be. But once you're there, then you can absolutely have that go live button, but it's going to take a little bit. But I just wanted to run you through
on this computer than my other one.
Fair
this
enough.
has been an embarrassing display of my technical capabilities.
Nah, man, it's fine. You're fine. This is
Y'all
fine.
are so nice. You don't have to sugarcoat it for me though.
I blame Timbot. Wait, what?
Same.
Same. Timbot. It's all his fault. So that being said, man, it's I hope you learned something from this and hope you're
Funny. I didn't know. I would have never gone through any of those screens.
Right. It's dude, unless you have someone to walk you through it, it's hard to know what you need to do. Pyro is also a veteran streamer as well, and also works for DreamHack. Very good friend of mine and coworker, fantastic streamer. If you ever need any help, man, we're here to help and make sure that you can actually get what you need in order to go live, because that's our goal here, is to help educate and evaluate and build people up. And I know that Amanda's been sitting there the entire time, like looking like she wants to I saw that again. Stop it.
This isn't actually me. This is a hologram. Amanda's over there.
Well, that's fucking rich.
Right.
Wow.
That's why you can afford
Wow.
those big plants.
And that
Exactly.
wine.
That's a money plant. That's actually called a money
Wine.
plant.
Wow.
Box of wine.
It looks like weed. That's why I bought it.
Really? I just like the little braid at the bottom.
The braid is an extra.
Yeah,
extra
the braid
goodie.
is what your wife likes. The weed at the top is what you like, and I
This is-
respect that.
It's called compromise.
Yeah, it's compromise.
Compromise.
All in one tree. That's
So-
literally the first thing he said to me was, "Oh my god, I have the same tree."
Nice plant.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't even realize that.
Mhm.
Plant? What's plant? I don't know what plant is. Plant is plant. Plant? No, plants in chat. Plants in chat? Plants. It's weed? What? Plant. Oh,
I think we have to go now.
we do, unfortunately. So we do have to
Very
transition to our next segment. So,
Party on.
Whit,
It was a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me. I
Everyone
definitely
wants
learned
you
stuff,
to
so-
come back.
yes.
So let's have you listen to what we said, and by we I mean Torben, and have you back on in a few weeks, and you could like show off all the cool things.
I'm gonna make
the cool stuff
Amanda
that I've
walk through everything with you, and I'm gonna shut up and not say anything.
Look,
Nope.
y'all can give me some tasks and see if I have accomplished said tasks next time, and then
I
degrade
will.
I
on
like that,
the
like a
habit.
checklist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
I'll give you a checklist,
That's
and
how
then
I
Amanda can
work
walk
the
through it.
best.
Okay. We can
Specific
absolutely do that.
instruction.
Yeah, we can
Awesome.
absolutely do that. No problem. And I'm
Fabulous.
happy to give you a checklist, and then again make Amanda walk through the checklist with you.
Yes,
And
please.
I'm just
We
gonna
gotta
shut
put
up and
Amanda to
be
work.
the pretty one this time.
Listen.
I think that's a fair trade.
I do.
Listen.
I agree.
Listen.
What?
No.
Yes.
No.
No. Yes. No. All right. So
Listen.
we do have to transition to our next guest. Next is Lee Massie. If you don't know who he is, we're going to be linking him in the chat here in a second. We're going to be talking about what are we talking about, Amanda?
Mental health.
There you go. See, looped it right back around. So
I was like, oh my god, what are we talking about?
we're going to be talking about mental health and esports. So this month we are talking about mental health. Lee, who's a phenomenal person, is going to be coming on talking about his experience dealing with it. Again, Witt, is fantastic having you here. We will be right back with Lee, but we are going to say goodbye to Witt right now. So appreciate you, man, and we'll be back in just a minute. button.
Interesting. Let me do another tweet. I'm live now.
Woo! What's up, everyone? We are back with our wonderful, amazing friend Lee. Lee, what is going on, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, actually. How you doing?
Yeah,
it's good to be here. Good to talk to all of y'all. Very cool people.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us, and talking about real shit, because that's what we do. We talk about real shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much you know about what we do. Have you had a chance to look at what we do here?
I like it when you pitch me and you tell me what you do here. So just give it.
Way
to
to
me
just
straight
put him
back.
on the spot, Jordan.
I mean, I have watched actually a couple episodes now, because Amanda mentioned it to me. Amanda mentioned it to me when I was talking to her about work
So
stuff.
Lee and I met for the first time a couple months ago. And how long was that call? It was like a 3-hour long call.
It was a very long
Holy
call.
shit.
It's just us riffing and going like this.
Yeah. And then there was a point where it was like silent and he's working and I'm working. And I was like, oh, the company is nice.
Yeah. That's honestly what I do I literally just got off the line with one of my other good friends. I just hang out and Discord with people.
Why not? Like, there's not much else to do.
There's a reason not to.
The only reason I ask is because I know how busy you are, dude. Like, I understand that you have a crazy hectic life, and so I don't assume anything with anyone. I just like to say, hey, do you like, you're coming on the show, and we're super appreciative of you being here, but we also just want to make sure that you know what we do, because this is a whole industry thing, right? So we're here to help educate and evaluate and build up content creators, right? That's the goal of the show.
I like it.
And in conjunction with that, every week and every month, we choose a new topic. And so with that topic, this month, we're doing mental health. And that's part of the reason why we brought you on today, is we want to talk about mental health, and you having the wealth of knowledge that you do in the esports arena and the esports teams have a personal touch, if you will, to how esports players have to deal with mental health. And so that's what we wanted to talk about today, and just kind of get your perspective on some of the struggles that they have. Because I know that some esports teams actually have full-on counseling teams behind them in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, so okay, there's a couple things here, because a lot of teams don't have the funding to get access to those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So what you're talking about is like the top tier CSGO and League of Legends teams that have access to those things. A lot of the other times it's a lot of like just discussing things, because esports at the end of the day is just like, with any sport, it's mostly just like interpersonal relationships. And logically, like, most people are just not good at interpersonal relationships at the first place. So like putting money and dealing with like your entire relationship is monetized through this game. So like adding that on top of already difficult communication problems is just like, it's just, what is it? It's a recipe for disaster. So yeah, we do try to make sure that these interpersonal relationships and communication styles work. And I think that is something, I'm glad you guys are talking about it. I mean, gaming right now has exploded with the concept of mental health is actually important suddenly. I mean, think about, there's a game out called Grounded. Grounded has an arachnophobia mode, where like that's really important, because a lot of people, it's a good game and there are very large ants and spiders, but at the same time, like, not everybody wants to deal with that for fun.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, sorry, to go back to your question or your statement, yeah, mental health in esports is incredibly important, because at the end of the day, that's kind of what the entire thing is built around.
So what are some of the things that you've experienced in dealing with the esports arena that people may not know or understand, as far as when it comes to dealing, some of the challenges that the teams have to deal with, right, from a mental health standpoint? Like, I know that they go 14, 16, 17 hours sometimes a day to try and grind and actually get to that next skill cap, or even just get that one maneuver down. So what kind of taxing things do they have to deal with in that kind of environment?
So it depends. Esports is a very large blanket term that we typically use for all professional gaming. And I will say, like, CSGO teams are the most, so this is where I will say, a lot of the times what I would say is hone in on one title. So let's do CSGO, MOBAs as a whole, and then we'll just do like all the rest.
Okay.
Because CSGO is, I'm going to be honest with you, they've mastered the art of how to handle emotions and how to handle interpersonal issues. A lot of the top 10 teams are probably like best in class at that. One of my favorite people is Steel. Steel is this IGL for us for a while. He was an IGL for Ghost for a little bit.
Yeah.
He's a very knowledgeable guy. he deals with interpersonal issues logically. He's a very logical person. Most of the best esports people are incredibly logic based. You can't just come at them with I feel bad. If you feel bad, give me a logical explanation of how did you feel bad? How do you feel now? And what can we do to make you feel better? And that's how you have to like take a step back and look at it. It's very clinical. It turns some people off who are really emotion based. I can put some names out there, but it's very emotion based or it's very logical. And usually you have to build a team around one core, like, is this a logic based team? Is everybody on the same page in that way? Is this an emotion based team? Is everybody there on the same page as well? So you just like really hone in. And sometimes if you have a varying degree of people, like your IGL is one thing, but like the best fragger on the team is another, like emotion and logic, then you have to find some kind of middle ground so that they can communicate and make it so that they have a safe space to communicate and not have that IGL to fragger. Like, cause like the IGL is a person that you don't want to lose on your team. Like as an investor or like as an operations person, I'm going to say, no, let's like remove this person. No, I want you guys to work together. So let's make sure that the kind of communication style works properly. And that's, I think it's mostly on the team. Truthfully, it's mostly on the support staff at the team to make sure that the communication works in the first place. Because if people are like emotional and they'll go home and they'll just sit down and play video games for the next 12 hours and not really deal with the problem, then that's not going to help the team at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense. So I guess I'm kind of curious, like maybe a bit more of like a deep dive. What kinds of resources, maybe let's have like two scenarios. What kinds of resources do those like top tier, top caliber teams have access to? And then let's say everyone on that lower level or like next level down, what do they have access to? Because I am super unfamiliar with all of this. So this is all very new information for me.
So it's effectively just like a lot of the times, okay. In the last 6 months, I will say that the amount of emails that I've gotten for life coaches, for mental health coaches, for psychologists, psychiatrists, and therapists, and then like hand therapy people, like entire like posture has gone up like 500%. I have friends in those fields and they'll reach out every now and then. But now I have my LinkedIn I think I have 20 just sitting messages right now. I'm just like, I don't work in an esports team right now. And I'm not consulting for a team right now. So I'm just like, I'm not going to like toss that out. But like, there's a ton of people just being like, you're in esports, help me. I want to do this with people. So like, there's tons of people just reaching out. And 9 times out of 10, the first thing is just like, what's your budget? Because it's like, it can go from like 0, I just want to help, to $10,000 an hour. Like just flat fee. Like that's how much it costs.
Crazy.
And I don't really have a whole lot of like data to say this is as effective as it can be, mostly because like at the end of the day, putting a person in between two people that are having an issue is putting an outside person into a situation is going to be more, it's more of a gamble. Because if me and Torben are having an issue, this just comes back to like my experiences dealing with people. This is like, if Torben and I are having an issue, I'm the kind of person that's going to ask Torben, hey, what did I do that's gotten under your skin? I'm a very direct person. I'm going to deal with the problem directly because that's how we deal with things. There's a lot of people in esports that are very similar. So having those funding, like having the funding to put a person in between, a lot of the times doesn't mean you should. You have to, just like the Jurassic Park quote, we thought about like the fact that we didn't stop to think if we should. Like you have to think, is this going to be effective for the person? I mean, as much as you want to talk about mental health, you also have to think about the fact that each person is an individual, and you can't just use a blanket statement or a blanket approach to every situation, especially when it deals to emotions.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I'm also a direct person, so I understand that does, that jives well with me, because I'd appreciate someone who came directly to me and not trying to put a middle person in between. But that still does speak to mental health as a whole, because being able to have those skill sets in order to understand that needs to happen is also something that is part of that mental health process. So maybe it's not necessarily an in-between, but maybe it's a team captain who goes, I recognize that's a problem. You guys need to work this out, and here's why, right?
Exactly.
And or someone on the team that may not be the mental health therapist, but an advocate, and can recognize those things.
The team mom.
Right. So let's talk about that. What is it? What is a team mom? Right. Like let's really.
I'm the
define...
team mom.
Aww.
No, literally, like all my teams, I was a team mom. So the team mom is a person, it's a joke, but like it's the person where like you stubbed your toe, you reach out to. And it's just like, because a lot of the times you deal with like people who are just like, they don't know how to communicate. So you have to like figure out where they need to go. And other times it's just the person who's got the balls to like say, no, you're wrong, or yes, you're right, or we're going to find somebody else to deal with this situation because I don't know how to deal with it myself. Like it's the person who can actually have those conversations. The team mom is the most important person that's not on the team. Because they can be the manager, it can be the coach, it can be the IGL, it can be anybody, it can be the operations person for the organization. Like it doesn't matter who it is as long as they exist. And at the end of the day, it's a person that everybody on the team can rely on. It's the person who you say, I didn't get paid this month, can you handle this? It's a person where like at 3 o'clock in the morning you call because your hotel room has a cockroach in it. Like things like that, that's the team mom. And I think that esports, there's a lot, like I'm glad you guys asked me to be on this because like a lot of people don't talk about these things. A lot of people don't talk about the background noise, the people that actually make these teams get to the stage. It's the people that are paving the way to get you to the championships, the people that, you know, went out at 5 o'clock in the morning and picked you up a hot dog because you wanted one, or got you a pizza at 7 o'clock in the morning because you don't know how to fucking eat like a human. Sorry, I've done all the things that I've said. I have done that.
I love that. And I feel like that's probably why we get along so well. So I don't run, manage, or own an esports team, but I have a talent management company and I have 45 children.
Exactly.
That the moment I'm IRL with any of them, that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you stubbed your toe, you cut your finger. Come here, honey. Like, mommy will fix it. Don't worry.
And it's just, I mean, it's talent. I mean, talent, esports pros, same thing.
Yeah.
Esports pros are just talent, just with one skill set instead of many.
Yeah, but I mean, having that insight is important because having those behind the scenes people can make or break a team. We've seen it time and time again where a team is right on that cusp of being like the next thing, and then they completely fall apart and no one knows why. And 90% of the time, it's probably because they didn't have the backing and the support needed to go to that next level. And it was just those 5 people doing it themselves. And so support structure is phenomenally important, not just from a mental health standpoint, but just from a longevity standpoint. Like, you know, you are a testament to that, right? Just being, knowing the teams that you've been a part of and knowing the things that you've done, that's impactful and important to have. And I like to know people like you because having people behind the scenes, knowing the people that are doing the stuff that matters is my important aspect, because the teams are nice. They're the front facing, but let's look at all the people behind that too. Let's look at the Lees of the world who are making sure that that team is able to go to finals and compete and win the $100,000, because guess what? He was going out at 7 a.m. in the morning getting you a fucking pizza because you don't know how to eat. Like,
yeah, exactly. Oh my God, Rocket League players. Fucking hell. I love esports. Esports is all passion based. So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, most of the conversations I've had that have actually had major like emotional problems is like, you have to take a step back and look at each game from like a 50,000 point view, because Street Fighter is a 1-person game. So they really have to deal with like interpersonal issues. Mostly it's just friends. Rocket League is there's like a 0.2 second time where you have to make a decision. It's like a lot of shot calls. So you have to like have trust in the person who's going to pick the ball up. And you can even see where like teams' trust issues manifest in game. Like you'll notice I've watched 1,000 matches of Rocket League over the course of like a few years. So you can tell if a person, if your forward chases the ball to the backfield, that means that they don't trust their backfield. Like 9 times out of 10, if a person chases all the way back to the backfield when there's 2 people there, it means that they don't trust their 2 people. And you can see it after game as well. You can literally see how it manifests in games. Like in CSGO, if you've got the weakest person on the team is the last person alive, and you see the other team take their hands off the keyboard and they're just like folded their arms, it means they know they're going to lose a map. Like there's a lot of little subtle things you can see in esports teams that show interpersonal issues.
Wow.
I mean, I love that kind of shit. Like one of my favorite moments was there's a team called Astralis, one of the greatest CSGO teams of all time. My team, CSGO Ghosts, we were bottom ranked. We went to a tournament that we shouldn't have been at, but we randomly like made it in. And we were on stage. We were against Astralis. Everybody left the auditorium because they thought it was just going to be a quick 0-3. And we took them to map 3. We took them to the final map. And then at the end, it was the coolest moment because we were like bottom ranked. We hadn't invested heavily into the team quite yet. We were planning to. we had like a ragtag bunch of fucking crazy kids, and then we took a couple maps off of Astralis, and everyone was just like, whoa, and it just like filled up immediately because you could see it was empty because everybody just expected. It's like, and you could see my players play better too. Afterwards, they were happier, they felt better. The entire situation. I feel like a lot of people don't realize the mental and emotional toll that every map in a video game takes. In Halo, every map matters so much because it's all very logical. It's time based. It's all about weapon control. That's all Halo is map control. I mean, that's what I do with video games, is you break it down to the smallest core component. And then you look at the people who play it. All the people that play Halo are really time-based. They can tell you when a minute's going to pass because they just have a natural ticker for that game. CSGO players are very logical because they practice very specific move sets. Dota players are very interesting because I'm a Dota player, and I know, like, oh my God, they're all clinically logical to the point of just like, dude, just show emotion for 2 seconds. But I mean, like, it's amazing. It's amazing. Pyro Insane, I miss you too, my dude.
So I guess, like, a little more specifically, can you think of like a specific story where like you had some sort of mental health challenge and like how you went about dealing with it? Obviously, share as much or as little as you can without too many details, but I'd just love an example. You seem to have so much experience with this.
I mean, I love telling stories. I just love, like,
I love stories, dude. That's why we were on the phone for 3 hours. I think it was like stories back and forth.
I love stories. I saw humans and their emotions. Emotions are the flavor. Honestly, if life was emotionless, we'd all be eating gray goop. But the fact that emotions exist is why we have good food, because you're like, I love this steak, I love this fry, I love this whatever the fuck it is, and then you want to share it so the other people have the same emotion.
Yeah.
Emotion is food, and you have to have food to survive. Okay, so I think one of my favorite, I have a couple stories, but I think my favorite one, I'm trying to find one that's got like a good resolution to it, because a lot of it is just like, you have limits. Okay, I've actually talked so much about like what it is, but you also have to realize that as an organization, you are the person's job. And a lot of the times taking over a person, like stepping in an actual much larger issue is sometimes detrimental, because then they become reliant on you and they don't want to leave the org, even if it's like a better opportunity. I have a very specific player in mind who was a CSGO player. And when he wasn't playing CSGO, he was playing World of Warcraft, and he wasn't playing World of Warcraft, he was playing CSGO. He was going to bed at like 5 in the morning, waking up at 5 p.m. And he was having a serious emotional, like this isn't during COVID times when that's acceptable. This is like 2016, 2017, when like life was going normally. And he was playing, he was a great player. But I just remember being like, what's wrong? And he had some serious home issues that was going on, and we tried to step in, but then like we stepped back because we were just like, this isn't our place, this isn't where we should be putting our foot in. So I think that a very important thing for orgs and for people in general is to just know what your limits are and know where, like, sometimes stepping in is just not the best thing. You need to let them deal with it themselves, which I just realized is probably a really good mantra for some people. But a really good story, that was one. A really good story would probably be, shit, there's so many. Give me something. Say something like, tell me, is there a game that you're interested in?
Help, Torben, help.
So, all right, this is what I have the most experience with at events, right? That is probably the most stressful fucking time that you can ever have, period. Like, across the board, everything that I've done in my life, the most stress that I've had and is at the peak normally is usually during a massive competition or something that's going on that is engaging your overdrive, right? And what I mean by overdrive is that fight or flight reflex. That's overdrive to me. So at an event, and I know you have a story at an event, what is the situation that you've dealt with a team where they literally wanted to bolt? And
dude, that happens all the fucking time. So Gears of War is one of the most interesting esports in the world, because Gears of War is how you get like some of the most aggressive personalities on the planet to play an incredibly aggressive game. And then afterwards they hug it out.
Okay.
It's some of the weirdest. Oh my God, here's one. Okay, so one of my players, his name's Ribs. He's a Gears of War player. Okay, one of my old players who's now an analyst. His name is Ribs. Very good guy. He's like, to this day, I still think of him as a friend. He's a really good guy. And his brothers, he's the youngest of like 5. And his brothers are older dudes. They're like 40 years old. This guy's 26, 27 at the time. And we were in Mexico City. We were going against Team Pure. And we were getting our asses kicked at the beginning. We were like one of the best. Gears, yeah, Timothy. Timotheus the Great. That's a cool name,
Timbot.
Matthias.
Just call him Timbot.
Sorry, Timbot. All right, it's nice to
Timbot.
meet you, Timbot. So Gears, Ribs was on Ghost, and we were getting our asses kicked by Pure. It's first to 7. I think it was 5-0. And then the Pure side and the family that was behind them was just roars, uproars. It was yeah, because we were like the favorites going into the tournament, and everybody just wanted to take games off of us. That was the whole thing. They were just super aggressive. They wanted to take games off Ghost, and then we ended up turning it around, and we got a first hit on the map. We got a second round of the map. We got a third map on the round, and it was quiet. And you could see before we started getting maps, the team was really like sullen. They were sunken in their seats. They were just like, oh shit, how are we going to come back from this? It's 5-0 right now. We've got to win how many rounds? 5, 7. You got to win 7 rounds in a row in order to come back. It's insanity. Or 8 rounds, depends on if they can get one. And then slowly we started coming up, and the dudes started leaning forward in their seats. They started standing up. And in between maps, I'm like behind them, and I'll give them pats on the back. Like, guys, we got this. Come on, you good. Doesn't matter if it's 0-5, you still got the next one. You can keep doing it. You can keep doing it. That's the kind of person that I am. But the brothers were the most amazing. So the brothers were sitting back. I didn't mention that for no reason. The brothers were sitting back, and if they got a kill, didn't matter if it was the last kill in the game, they were screaming like their lives depended on it because their brother was playing. And they ended up coming up with this thing because the silence team was Pure, and everybody over there was being quiet when they were losing. So they started saying pure silence, silence, just to like wreck into him. And one of the team's moms was like, got super aggressive and started yelling back at him in Spanish, because it was a Spanish team, or in Mexico. And then one of the dudes knew Spanish and then immediately retorted back in Spanish. And the lady was like, oh my God. And it was like cool, because after we ended up winning, afterwards, the team was like super happy because there was a lot of shit going on with the team at the beginning of it. And just noticing how like that, it's not a great story for like how we can handle mental health, because a lot of the times it's just all about the video game. Like that's all these people care about. That's all the esports pros care about, is mostly about the game. Like that's where they live, that's where they die, that's where they express themselves, that's where they get more followers, that's how they communicate. It's all about like in the game. So I feel like a lot of the times my stories are going to go back to, hey, this one time in this video game, these people did this thing, and afterwards they felt a lot better. Because a lot of the times, if a person's having a really bad day and they're pro in a game, all they need to do is just go in, get a win, feel better, move on. However, there are obviously caveats to that. If it's a much larger situation, the game can only make things worse. I think you have to deal with things as they come about.
So what you're saying is video games are good for the soul.
Yes, video games are good for the soul, but they can also be incredibly detrimental. You got to
There's a
be
balance
logical with this stuff. There's a balance to everything.
Yeah.
I've taken players out on hikes just because they need to get away from the computer. And I mean, like that's probably another story as well. Like, you know, just like, hey, dude, you've been playing for like 2 weeks straight. You need to probably like get up, go take a shower. Let's go for a hike. Let's go for a walk. Let's talk about stuff that's not a video game. What movies have you seen? What books have you read? Things like that. Because balance and everything is important. I think that like that was my role at Ghost mostly, was just like making sure everything was okay. Like I handled everything, but my favorite part of my job is to sit down with people and make sure they're okay as a human being.
So how do you recognize if someone's not okay? Because again, that's a skill set, dude. Like not everyone knows how to recognize. Like, are there signs and things that you see when you start to see someone, even close friends or even people that you have in passing? What are some signs that we should be looking out for that is our flags, right? Like
Changes.
What are things? Yeah,
it's changes. It's all about changes. It's about like, so one of my favorite players, I'm not going to say his name. One of my favorite players that I've ever worked with, actually, he was at the Ghost House when we had the stupid expensive Ghost House. He was fine. He was good. Everything was cool. He was playing the game for like 6 hours a day. He would go hang out. He would eat the food that the chef was cooking. And then the chef was like, he's not eating as much. And he's like staying in his room a lot. So then I went up to the house to like hang out with him and find out what was going on. His girlfriend had broken up with him. And I was just like, you dated her for like 2 months, my dude. How are you this messed up about this? And he's just like, he's just like, a lot of these guys are in relationships for a very short period of time because they can't give the person as much experience, like as much attention as they need to. And like, once those things, fall apart, they have to rebuild themselves up again because they put so much effort into it. Because you have to put a lot of effort into relationships, especially when you are so distracted by all the other things going on. If you're distracted by stuff, if you're focused on the larger world as it is, and then like you're not able to, like it changes things. So I think changes in eating habits, playing habits, a lot of the times players will rat on each other. Like, hey dude, this guy's depressed. Lee, hit him up. Like stuff like that. The moment they'll notice things like that. And then manager as well is supposed to really focus on these things. So I think that for most esports orgs, you have coach, you have in-game leader, coach, manager, operations people at the team. Like you have a support system. You have a list of people that you can reach out to. And then you've got your favorite person. Everybody has their favorite person that they want to talk to. Like that's just how people are. Like we all have our favorite person we reach out to for, I have this problem. I need to talk to somebody. Let me talk to this person that I trust, my confidant, my person that I can be vulnerable with. It's all about vulnerability as well.
No, definitely. Those are really, really insightful stories. I love it. So I know we have to wrap in a few minutes. I'd love to see if maybe chat had any questions for Lee. I know this is like a really awesome, in-depth topics that we could probably talk about for episodes and episodes of our show.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I feel like some people don't like talking about this stuff. This is
oh no, like it's important, dude. It's absolutely important. We need to be talking about this and making sure that people understand that everyone is affected, right? This is not just a one group of people. This isn't everyone thing. This isn't everyone has problems. Everyone needs help, and everyone needs a Lee in their life, right?
They do. I want one. I want pizza.
You have
in the
my
morning.
phone number. Don't start this. You have my phone number.
Lee, come to Los Angeles. Give me pizza.
I live in Anaheim.
Down the street. That's not a 7 a.m. pizza run. That's like, okay, man, you'll be here at 8:30. Cool.
Probably. Yeah. I think everybody needs to have a game that they play. Like, okay, so we're on Twitch. We're streaming on Twitch. Like, everybody's a gamer. I think everybody needs to have a game that they play that they can use as like their home, as a place that they take away. I usually tell people like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, like an MMO that you can just like dive into and stop stressing is a really good explanation. Some people that doesn't work for. Some people need to have a different game. But I definitely implore people to have a home game, a game that isn't as stressful, something that you can just show up in and just be fine. One of my favorite shows is a show called Cheers, and it instilled, like, I got into it because of COVID. Did I tell you about that, Lay? I did.
Yeah.
I got into Cheers because one night I was bored and my dad had watched it. So I was just like, let me jump, throw on a TV show. And I didn't realize that, like, I was depressed during the beginning of COVID because I didn't have a lot of like interpersonal connections. Like I have my girlfriend who lives with me and stuff like that, but I wasn't like hanging out with people as much as I'm used to. So Cheers brought me this concept of like, there's this show and the theme song, everybody knows your name, stuff like that. It clicked and I was like, this is amazing because you get to watch these interpersonal relationships, all these conversations. It's not Friends where it's just completely stupid and like the jokes hit well, it's old, it's wholesome, blah, blah, blah. And then I realized that like my game is Final Fantasy and I can log in and have like a bunch of people who know your name. That's my Cheers, like having, yes, Cheers is old.
It is old.
It's from like, it was being shown in the 80s, 70s and 80s. 80s was 40 years ago. Don't forget. It was a long ass time ago. It's where everyone knows your name. Yeah, that's my whole thing. I think everybody needs to have a Cheers, a game where you can log in and everybody's like, oh, dude, how you doing? What's going on? And if you don't have one, you can build one. And if you need one, you can always reach out to me or somebody else. And like, I would love to invite you to my Final Fantasy group or my World of Warcraft group or my Dota group. Don't join that one.
Don't join that one. That's honestly, I resonate with that because for me, that's Minecraft, right? I jump into Minecraft and I can be creative. I can be anything I want to. If I want to go farm and kill zombies for, the next 25 minutes, I can. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
I can go build a tower. And I know there's a group of people there that are going to always be on, always be playing. And I'll just jump in. Hey, let's go kill the Ender Dragon, or let's go do XYZ, or, something along those lines. So I definitely understand that.
I've never gone against the Ender Dragon. I've actually never really done the whole like late game stuff. I've been meaning to for a long time, but
I have too many hours in Minecraft and I don't want to admit how many.
It's your home game. Like you don't wear that as a sadness, wear that as a badge of honor. You've earned it. I feel like a lot of people look at the time that they've put into games. I have a lot of philosophical opinions. Sorry.
I love it. I think
really
it's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a family. Like you want to have your home family, right? This is where communities come into play and building, being part of a community. Like You want to have a place that you can just go be yourself and chill.
Yes.
And not have to feel like you're going to be judged.
I mean, yes, that's it. That's gaming. Gaming is a place where so many people have escaped. Like children these days who are in bad family situations where their parents like abusive, stuff like that. Like that's where they go to like to escape from the real world. Like gaming encapsulates so many different components to like what we need as human beings: emotion, connection, discovery, exploration, learning. Like all of it is encapsulated in this form of entertainment. It's beautiful, and I feel like more people should see it in that way.
Dude, Animal Crossing, because someone just said Nintendo. Fucking
Nintendo is my baby.
Like, what the shit, dude? Like, you want to talk about a crazy ass community in general, and the welcomeness that they bring to the table, and how wholesome that game was when it first came out, and then the re-release and the exact same community just literally transplanted into that. It was a phenomenal thing to see. And I explained this to my mom the other day. I was like, listen, the reason why people are so crazy about Animal Crossing is because it's a fun family game, and you can go in and just chill and have friends come over just like a house, and do like just build a house for them, go out fishing, like farm some shit, doesn't matter, because it's all just laid back and chill. That's why Animal Crossing was so successful.
Exactly. It's because it was the real world when COVID struck. Because now instead of us having to worry about like, oh man, I'm going to go hang out with my friends, but I might catch COVID, you can say, hey, come to my island in Animal Crossing and let's just catch dragonflies. Or let's all go to this other island and see if we can catch tarantulas and things like that. Or let's redesign my room. Like there's so many different things that I feel like we take for granted because it's not in person. And I think that doing it through digital might not be the same, but it's a great explanation, or a, what's the word I'm looking
outlet
for? It's an outlet. It's a replacement. It's like a shitty replacement, but it's a replacement nonetheless. I mean, and that's it. I mean, mental health is all about taking care of yourself. So you have to find out what you need. I think that at the end of the day, if you've learned nothing out of this conversation with us, I think everybody should identify what is it that the individual needs. And if you don't know what you need, then take a step back and just look at it and take your time. Because knowing isn't a now thing. Knowing is a forever thing. Once you know, hold it close. Make sure you keep yourself fed. Make sure you keep your emotions, and like make sure you keep going on.
Yep.
I don't know.
Completely agree, man. Like I could not agree more. So we are at time right now. Unfortunately, as much as I want to continue talking about this, because I know you have stories for days. I just love talking. No, dude, I love talking to you, and I know Amanda does too. Like we could literally talk for hours, and I don't have the time to do that as much as I want to, and I know Amanda doesn't either. Right now,
hit me up anytime. You guys hit me up, and I'll come back.
We definitely.
I love it.
Yeah,
we'll take you up on that for sure, man.
No, man. All right. Well, I don't know. Like this show is great. I love what you guys have been doing. By the way, I don't think you guys have heard enough of that. So good job.
Thank you so much.
We're definitely just trying to make a difference and help where we can in this time of need, and like I said, educate people on what is out there. And like last week or last time we did Equality Matters, like last month, and we talked about LGBTQ, we talked about Black lives, we talked about all different types of stuff.
Don't get me started on that one.
Like that's the whole topic in of itself.
Yeah. But
seriously. Every month we want to focus on a new thing that people can learn and educate on and build on. And so we really appreciate your time, man. We really do. And really appreciate you coming on and talking with us and sharing your life.
Oh, thank you for having me on. I don't want to. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And speaking of people supporting people, just a shout out to our sponsors who support us, who make it possible: Blue Mike and Shot Call.
Blue Mike and Shot Call. Awesome. Oh, I know the dudes at Shot Call. Awesome.
Yeah, dude, those are the rad guys. Those are the peeps.
Those guys made me play Dota and teach people.
I'm sure you loved it. Oh
man. Yeah. Amanda, what do you play anyway?
World of Warcraft. That's it.
World of Warcraft? Yeah.
That's not true. You play COD.
I'm very bad at Call of Duty, and I play it occasionally when I get guilted into it. Same with Overwatch. World of Warcraft's my jam.
Do you do rating in World of Warcraft, or what do you
Heroic, not mythic.
Heroic.
But
got it. All right. Allegedly. Sorry, just curious about that.
Yeah. Little Fallout 76. One of my friends convinced me to get it. So.
Oh my god, I've got friends trying to convince me to get that. Oh my god.
I don't know how I feel about it yet.
I want to like it. I want to like it, but
Me
I
too.
have other games. Like right
Yeah.
now there's so many games out right now.
Dude, it's like a mix between World of Warcraft and Call of Duty. Like, I don't understand how you click on stuff. I don't know. Anyway, rant. We will tangent later. Dude, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, guys, we'll be back again next week at 2:30 PST. Look forward to seeing you all then. Have a good one. We're out.
All right. That's good. I don't know if I'm supposed to leave. I don't know how this goes.
No, you're good. Dude, my contractor literally